Welcome to the Joy of Wargaming, where today we're going to talk about a couple little terrain scatter bits that are perfect so your little dudes can take cover. As usual, Mr. Scaly here is a white splintered light fantasy figure that has two other triplets that have already been painted up nice and neat. I use him just for checking scale on my terrain bits, and I wanted to show you how I made each of these pieces of terrain. The building itself is hollow. It's just a simple, I think it's like a jewelry box. It's a hard paper, and you can get them at your local craft store. I used granny grating, they call it, or weaver's cloth with a little bit of wire. That's what the ladders are, and then because I like my science fiction clean and happy, I put some nice little red decorative cartouches on there. The roof here is actually the lid put on the upside down. Now, what about these ceiling vents? I'm not going to show you every single step. You're a smart guy. You've probably been wargaming long enough to realize once you see this idea how it was done. These can be found in a little tiny drawer at your local hardware store, and they are simply the switches for lamps. This is what they look like when you purchase them, and all I had to do was trim them down a little bit. I may leave this one a little bit longer. Mount them on a washer, prime them, dry brush them, Bob's your uncle, and off you go. You've got a nice little ceiling vent that guys can hide behind for cover. Remember, this is all impressionist, so if I got a guy standing there, he's good to go. I don't need that many, but I've got 10 buildings, so we can add to those. You can buy specific carved miniatures that do the exact same thing for anywhere from $4 to $5 a piece. Or you can buy these little knobs for 62 cents a piece. I know which one I like better. The one that lets me do a little bit more crafting. Moving on, we've got a couple of things here. Now this looks like hey, there's fireworks. Somebody graduated high school. They are very excited about that. So we got a nice little park bench, or a bus stop, or what have you, and it's composed of a number of different pieces. This is simple cardstock. The legs of this bench are plastic staples. Here's the product that I use, and it's a nice little concrete piece. It looks like a bench. If you're feeling particularly adventurous, you can stick another piece of cardstock across the back. And then to complete the look, you need a garbage can. And I looked all over the hardware store what was the perfect size and shape for a garbage can, and I found it in these crimp sleeves. Steel 18 to 10 crimp connectors. They come golden like this, and all you need to do is stick a little dab of glue down inside it, fill it with sand, paint that sand like rubbish, and you got more cover for your guys. Maybe it doesn't block line of sight. Maybe it just is an obstacle that you have to climb over or at least move around. What could be easier than that? The last piece of cover terrain we have is this cute little vending machine. And you'll have to forgive me, I don't have the package available for these anymore. I've only got a couple more in my possession, but I can tell you, this is one way of connecting electrical wires. Underneath here, now I have it mounted on a little bit of cardstock, but underneath there are a couple of receptacles for the bare ends of the wire. It's essentially the same as a pigtail, if you know what that is. Literally all I did was drop it down. Yeah, well, the first step was shaving off whatever markings are on it, whatever letters and identification markers there are. Glue it to the cardstock and paint it up. A couple little painted buttons, little Nuka-Cola label, and then there's a Nuka-Cola logo on it. Oh, you're gonna be naughty again. So I don't know if you can see that. Why do you want to focus over there? There's only one thing for you to look at, camera. And that's that pretty little Nuka-Cola lady. Looks like that's as good as we're going to get. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that it actually comes in multiple sizes. You know, sometimes you don't need to crimp 2 wires. Sometimes you need to crimp 3 or even 4. So I went ahead and had myself made, well, I shouldn't say had myself made. I made for myself a nice little by and large vending machine, and then a recycled, what the heck is this one? I think this is a Soylent Green. Yeah, that's a Soylent Green snack. So you can see they come in a couple of different sizes, and they are the perfect size. Come here, Mr. Scaly. If you're hungry. See that? How's that for some scatter terrain? And again, this is the exact same garbage can that you see with my park bench. This box of garbage cans is probably $1.50, maybe $2. It comes with 12 of them. Love this idea. The Tortuga Astra is absolutely gonna get a few of those. So, a couple of ideas for you to add to your wargaming arsenal. Thanks for watching. Remember to do the YouTube shuffle if you enjoyed this at all. And hopefully next time we'll put together a proper battle report. We still have to do episode 2 of the Necromancer King Crusade. Until then, I'm your host. Thanks for joining me. Good night, and may God bless you.